use AI to create an infinite
Make
money
money in
glitch.
30
Go on
seconds,
your
get
laptop
rich
and go on
easy
Google
by
Maps,
AI.
and I want you to find as many
If AI could build million-dollar businesses overnight, then everyone would be rich by now, right? We know that it's not quite that simple yet, but you're smart enough to know that if you're ignoring AI and hoping that it will blow over, then you're in trouble. And on the flip side, if you're outsourcing 100% of your tasks and your expertise right now to AI, then you're in even more trouble. The reality is the balance lies somewhere in the middle. And it's that mix, the balance between automation and authenticity, that will give you that edge and sets your business up not just for growth, but for longevity. After building businesses for over a decade now and generating well over $13 million online, I'm not an AI expert, but in this video, I'm going to share with you what's working for me, and I'm going to walk you through the 70-30 rule for using AI in your business and give you clear, practical steps to help you get the balance right. So I've got a few specific AI tools that I want to share with you today that are really helping me inside of my business. But first, before we get into that, we need to understand the future view of how we are approaching this entire scenario. Because whenever we're making a decision in business and we're trying to grow and scale what we're doing right now, it's very important that we don't just look down at our feet and just take one step at a time. We need to lift our eyes up and look toward the future and try to make some predictions as best we can. We can make predictions based on what we're experiencing in our business now, but also what we're learning in the industry, listening to other people who are experts in these other areas. So there's two things that we should be looking at and having a future view for. The first is, where is AI going and how fast is it going there? It's super important, and the fact you're watching this video demonstrates that you're investigating this, which is great, but you've got to keep doing that on a daily basis. It's moving so incredibly fast, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. So when we're making decisions about our business now, and we're making decisions about how we're going to incorporate AI into our business now, we need to not do that with a view of what's currently possible. We have to do that with a view of how fast things are evolving. So in 6 months, what is likely to be possible, so I can lay a foundation for my business now with that future view in place. But the second thing, and this is critical, is you need to think about the areas of your business that are going to be harder to replace. So that's going to give you an edge moving forward. There's a number of things that I can think of. Number one is your branding and your positioning. For you to have a solid brand with a brand message and a pull to your ideal dream clients, that's one thing that's going to be harder for AI to replace. We're going to be able to create AI influencers. We're going to be able to create logos with AI. We're going to be able to do all of this extra stuff, but there's going to be something about you, your personal brand, how you communicate, your brand presence, that if done right, will be obvious that you have an edge over all of the other stuff that's being AI created. The second thing, and I think this is huge, is that personal human-to-human connection. The more AI takes over the online space and the digital space, the more there's going to be a need and a desire for that connection. So the way in which you're delivering your products right now, your trainings, your courses, your coaching, your services, perhaps you want to be thinking about how you can incorporate more in-person stuff. Maybe there's ways that you connect over Zoom calls to deliver your coaching. Maybe there's in-person events and masterminds and trainings and workshops and retreats. You know, think about that type of stuff in your business. Have this two-pronged approach. Where's AI going and how can I be aware of it and adapt to it? And also, what's going to be harder for it to overtake so that I can still have an edge if I'm focusing on those areas of my business. So with that being said, let's talk about practically how we can use AI right now. There's loads of different things that we're using it for. I want to focus in on 4 ways that I'm using AI right now to help advance my business forward, save me time, and get greater results. And I do want to give credit to a guy called Kieran Gill in my Titan Mastermind. This is our mastermind group where the collective average in the room is 500,000 a month. Okay, so these are the titans of their respective industries. These are very, very switched on smart people. And Kieran is our resident AI expert. And every quarter when our mastermind meets, he shares the updates on AI and he blows us away. And so some of the things that we're talking about here today is actually because Kieran has given me that idea, and so I want to give him credit before we get into this. If right now the extent of your use of AI is using ChatGPT like Google, then you're completely missing a trick. The first thing you need to get really good at is how you're using these platforms like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and others. It's not just about asking it simple questions or getting it to produce you simple stuff. The more you give it, the more you prompt it, the better you prompt it, the better the outcome. I think we already know this, but there's ways in which I'm using it that I just find incredibly helpful. So for example, When I'm using ChatGPT, I'm going on the app, and on the app, and I've also activated it on my desktop as well, you've got this little, we'll zoom in on it, but we've got this little record button. So I press that and I'm doing voice to text. So when I'm talking to ChatGPT, I'm putting on the recorder and I'm just talking at it, sometimes for 45 minutes. No exaggeration. I will just be explaining in excruciating detail the situation that I'm currently in, the decisions that I'm facing, the thoughts that I need, the expertise that I want, and what I'm asking it to create. And so, for example, we're at a point now already, and again, this is advancing so incredibly fast, even right now, we're at a point where very lengthy, important legal documents, ChatGPT can create for you and get you 95% of the way there. An example would be, we just put an investor pack together for a capital raise that we're doing for one of my businesses. It's my software company. And so we're reaching out to potential investors and we're putting together an investment pack. Well, one of those documents, there's quite a number of them, and I use ChatGPT to help with many of them. One of them is a safe note agreement. You can Google what that is and what that looks like, but it's essentially a way of raising capital for future equity, and there's a whole nuance to this, and it's got to be worded perfectly. And it's got to be compliant with UK law, because my company's based here in the UK. Anyway, there's lots I could say. I could talk to you for hours about this particular document. I had ChatGPT basically create that document. It's like a 50-page document from top to bottom. And then I sent it to a solicitor only at the final step, when I felt like we had done everything we could with ChatGPT, and now it's time to get a human to look over this and critique its work. And what was interesting is I paid a solicitor, instead of tens of thousands, which it can cost to have a solicitor write that thing from start to finish, I paid a solicitor £150 to just check it over and point out if anything was missed or lacking or could be improved upon. And guess what? We had 3 comments from the solicitor, and they were very basic, very simple changes. And outside of that, they said this contract is magic. It's absolutely perfect. So how is that type of thing possible? Well, there's a way that I can use ChatGPT to get a better response out of it. So the starting point would be, I hit record, I start talking to it, I explain the type of safe note that I need, I explain where my business originates here in the UK, I explain some of the things that I'm aware of with this type of document already, I explain the areas where I feel like I'm blind and I don't know what I even should be asking, and I will talk and talk and talk and talk and talk until I feel I'm done. And then when I'm done, my closing statement is, I want you to help me put together the first draft of this document, but I don't want us to attempt that yet until you feel you've got all the information that you need. So given everything I've just said above, is there anything else you need? Are there any other questions you should be asking? Were there any questions that I should have asked you and I didn't think of? And I do a little ramble on that at the end. And so the output is now ChatGPT asking me all of the clarifying questions that it needs that I didn't think of to even ask it. So we go through a few versions of this draft. We're tweaking as we go. And now here's where the magic comes in. You ask ChatGPT to critique its own work. So when we had the final output, and I felt like I had gone back and forwards as much as possible, and we had a pretty incredible looking document at this point. My final prompt was to put that back into ChatGPT and say, we just created this document together. This needs to be bulletproof in the legal system. I want you to go ahead and critique this like a legal professional, as if I have paid someone to critique this, and I want you to go through and pick this apart. If you've missed anything, could have worded something better, or if there's anything that we haven't thought of that should have gone in there. And it will critique its own work, and it'll give you a final few recommendations for what could have been improved. And with that, I went to a solicitor and said, please check this over, paid £150. We had a beautiful document ready to go. I mean, this is, for some of you watching this, that's relatively basic. For others of you, you're thinking, I'm not using ChatGPT even close to that. Guys, we're just scratching the surface. This is how we should be interacting with these tools now to get the best out of it. The second thing I want to talk about, and don't forget we've got 4 and they actually get increasingly more exciting. The second thing I want to talk about is using AI to create your ad images. There's almost like a turn that's happening in the marketplace, at least from a marketing perspective, where we would stand out by producing video, and image ads were getting boring, uninspired, and you just get ad fatigue. People would scroll past an image ad and wouldn't care about it anymore. And then you would create a video where you've got a talking head, you've got animation going on, you've got tone of voice, you've got bright colors, and video started to really take over. And don't get me wrong, video is still not slowing down, but image ads are picking back up. They are getting in the race again because we can get sheer volume. If we are going to run some ads on Meta, on Facebook and Instagram, we can produce tens and tens and tens and tens, if not hundreds of these different images lightning fast because they're produced with AI. This is replacing design in so many capacities. And there's one program you should look into, it's called Ideogram. It's a place where we have gone to create loads of different ads. You can see it here on the screen. And I want to show you some examples of some ads that we created for our annual conference called AdCon. And all that we did is input a picture of me and then describe what it is that we are looking for. So we described that the event's called AdCon. We gave it the date that the event is happening. It's got a London theme and a London feel because that's where the event is taking place. And we want it to call out the right type of people, so call out coaches and experts, the people that we can help in our audience. And we want to make it sound exclusive, like you're coming to hang out with the 1% of the industry. So we gave it a very simple prompt like that, with a starting picture of me. And as you can see on the screen right now, here's some of the examples that it created. Just tons and tons and tons of these different images that are obviously AI created. It kind of looks like it, doesn't it? But we launched some of these ads and many of them were our top performing ads. They beat the ones that are designer created something. They beat ones where it's a picture of me and I'm actually in the real world doing something. And it beat many of our video ads where I'm actually talking about the event and describing it. So Ideogram is incredible for creating these types of ads, and you should definitely grab an account and start playing around with it. And then another tool that you should use is Google AI Studio for essentially a Photoshop AI. I mean, the type of stuff we would have gone to Fiverr for and paid someone $5, $10, $15 to airbrush a picture or to edit something out or to change and manipulate the photo or the picture ever so slightly. Now Google AI Studio will just do that for you in a second. It is so incredibly powerful. If you are taking a picture and your shirt was slightly creased, you put that through Google AI Studio and ask it to take the creases out. You ask it to change the color of your hair. You ask it to, remove the watch from your wrist, and it'll just do these things in an instant. So this is where we can get a really quick win and save a bit of money on a VA or a third-party designer, and we can save a lot of time because it can happen instantly. Now again, much with many of the things that we're talking about, we're just scratching the surface on this, okay? I'm not sharing this with you because I feel what I've just said is absolutely groundbreaking. The reality is, this is just a simple use case for something that is a far bigger game. You've got to start leaning into this because AI is completely taking over design, and I don't want you to get left behind. Now the third thing, and I told you they were getting increasingly exciting, is hiring AI agents to do certain tasks for you. This is where it's getting quite groundbreaking now. There's a tool that ChatGPT has in their, I believe it's their $200 a month plan. It's called Operator, and there's another third-party software called Convergence. And there's a bunch of others, by the way. It's just all about AI agents where you're basically replacing what a VA would have done for you. If you would have hired a VA, which is a virtual assistant, by the way, and you would have taught them how to do a certain task, and then they would go ahead and do that task for you and then report back. AI agents can now do that. They're intelligent enough to replace that. So here's one working example for you just to get the cogs turning in your brain. Let's say you have a school group, okay? And you have a community on that school group and everyone can post, and sometimes there's troublemakers, and sometimes the group needs to be cleaned up, and some people need to be banned, and some people need to, you need to communicate with them to deliver a lead magnet, whatever the case may be. An AI agent, Operator or Convergence, can now do that for you instead of a human. So here's what this looks like. You give the AI agent your login details to school, and you say, every hour of every day, I want you to log into this school group called this name. I want you to scan through the posts that came in the last hour. I want you to find if any are troublemakers, and I want you to delete those posts if they have anything in there that feels like it's negative or not serving the group or not helping the group. It's intelligent enough to understand what you mean by saying that, and it can delete posts. It can send warning messages to people. It can go and open up a chat and it can send a message to someone and say, hey, you posted this in our group, that's against our T's and C's, please refrain from that or I'll ban you from the group. You can have it actually go in and remove members and ban people. If you're going to do what we call a lead grab, which is where you might make a post in a school group and offer a lead magnet, if they comment the word, gift, well, then you can also ask it to go and check that post every hour, and anytime someone comments the word gift, then open up a chat with that person and deliver the lead magnet and follow up with them and see if they want further help from our business. And that's perhaps where, because we're talking about this balance, right? That's perhaps where a human then takes over the conversation to get them on the phone and close them into a client. But AI can set that up for you. This is where we are with AI agents right now. They're only getting smarter, and there's just more and more they're going to be able to do. It's absolutely incredible. So the fourth thing I want to share with you is super exciting, and then I'm going to reveal what this is and tell you why you absolutely can't leave this video until you have this, because this will really help you to grow and scale your business. We are at a place right now where AI can already write code for you and can create you a software application. Like the average Joe with no coding experience can now dream up a piece of software and can have it created. It is incredible. Kieran in our Titan group at the last meeting shared with us an unbelievable stat that 25% of new tech startups right now, 95% of their code is AI generated. Like, that is just unbelievable. Brand new businesses that are launching and starting to scale to the moon are pretty much powered by AI code, with a human just looking over the top to make sure that it's exactly what it needed to be. And we'll be close to 100% code, I have no doubt, very, very soon. And right now, software tools like Bolt are just open to the average person to play around with and create a piece of software. It's just unbelievable. This is where business is going, and this is where marketing is going. Rather than creating a lead magnet as a free giveaway that is like a checklist or just a PDF or something like this, instead, imagine giving away a lead magnet that's actually a piece of working software that solves an early problem for your audience so that you wow them by this free gift, and now they want to do business with you and give you some money for the next step. This is where it's going. This is how creative we need to start thinking. So definitely grab an account to Bolt, start playing around with it. It's really freaking cool. Now here's the thing, if you already have a business or you're looking to launch a business online, whether that's coaching, a course, training, a service of some capacity, we can incorporate all of this AI stuff, but it needs to be built on a solid foundation, a plan. This right here has generated me $30 million online. I've boiled down exactly what I do to launch my businesses, create my offers, speak to my avatar, my dream clients, and then build the marketing. How do we get traffic? How do we buy it, build it, borrow it? How do we filter that through a marketing machine? How do we activate the sales, one-to-many or one-to-one? And how do we do all the back-end stuff to increase more revenue? We still need a blueprint and a map and a plan like this. And then what we do is we find ways to incorporate AI into this to make it more efficient, speed up our path to results, and ultimately have the business that we've dreamt of and have the impact that we want in our industry quicker. This thing is awesome. It's a client resource. I teach from this in my private masterminds and coaching groups, and I'd love to give you this as a free resource so you can follow along. It also comes along with an accompanying free training as well that you might enjoy. So click the link that's somewhere in the description box or coming up somewhere around this video. Tell me where to send this. And I think this will really help you get clarity on the foundation of the business that you need to build and how the marketing works all the way through. This thing is really, really valuable, and I hope you enjoy it. With that being said, AI is not going anywhere. It's advancing forward. Keep your eyes on the future of AI, but also the future of where your business needs to be to stay ahead of the curve. And if you want more education from me right now, check out this video, because one of the most important things in here are the sales funnels that you're building. And I analyzed and built 757 different sales funnels, and here's what I learned. So go ahead and check that one out. Hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the future one.